When you are fighting back into it, the way the Celtics did in the third quarter, and turning the narrative of we are so bad in the third quarter of these finals, and you finally flip it around and are dominating the Warriors in the third quarter. And then Jordan Poole hits a 33-foot shot at the end of the third quarter buzzer to make sure you still don't have the lead, despite all your best efforts. How demoralizing do you think that is? Because it goes from the crowd. If he had missed that, the crowd would have went, oh, and it would have been okay. And we go to, it's a 2-point game, and going to the fourth, it's anybody's game. But he hits that shot. The crowd goes nuts. And now the Celtics got to go back to their bench. All this hard work to get back in this game, but they didn't take the crowd out of it because Jordan Poole brought them right back to life.
So I knew we were going to talk about this because we had discussed it. And I was fully prepared to get on here and argue with you because I knew what you thought, and I just didn't think it was so big of a momentum swing. And then I listened to Draymond Green talk, and he said essentially what you said, and I was like, oh, I can argue with Matt. I can't really argue with Draymond, who's on the Warriors and who's in there playing in the game. And he said essentially what you just said, which is the Celtics knowing that they had as great of a quarter that they did, but they were still down one, and then the Warriors knowing what great of a quarter the Celtics still had, and then they could still look at the score and see that they're up one. And so obviously it was big in that sense. For me, I still don't know how much it would have changed the game. I do think the crowd was into it. They're, of course, more into it because he hit that shot. But, I don't know, a minute later, 90 seconds or a minute earlier, 90 seconds earlier, Draymond had that play where he pushed in transition, and he dropped the dime to Gary Payton Jr. to lay it in, and that put the Warriors up 72-71. And then the crowd was all happy again because they had just seen the Celtics go on this big run, take the lead, the Warriors got it back, and the crowd erupted. And then I think Marcus Smart hit a three to make it 74-72 Celtics, and then a couple plays happened, and then Brown loses the ball or airballs it, and then Poole's able to come down and hit that shot, and the crowd goes crazy because he makes it. But I thought the crowd was still into it because the Warriors had just taken the lead a little bit earlier, and I still don't know how much it would have affected the fourth quarter, but it definitely had an effect on the Warriors. I don't know how much of an effect it had on the Celtics, but straight from Draymond's mouth, it definitely had an effect on the Warriors, knowing that they got outplayed that quarter, outscored by 11, but were still able to look up at the scoreboard with 12 minutes left to go in the game, the fourth quarter, and okay, cool, we're still up one. We still got this. So to your point, Draymond agrees with you, so how can I not?
Sweet. I'll take it.
It's an awesome shot, though.
Okay. It was an awesome shot. It was. Look, he tried it in game one at the actual half. I think it was the actual half of game one that he tried it, and it was ugly. Real ugly. Not even close. And then in game two, he did it at the end of the third, and he took his time, had the space, and took a nice shot, and it was a really pretty shot. And this one, it was one of those, I didn't call bank, but I'll take bank situations. So it was the perfect miss, where you missed it just enough to the left and just enough long that it hit the right spot in the backboard to shoot right through the hoop. And you'll take it, absolutely. And the crowd took it and ran with it.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be